Hello and welcome to Starcraft. It's Pig here with yet another video helping you learn and improve at Versus mode. Today we have a beginner Terran build order for you. Now we're just going to be covering the opening stages. We're not going to be giving you a sort of guide which sticks you into one certain playstyle and tells you how to do every single thing right to the end of the game. It's more about having a guide for establishing yourself, getting up a nice big 2-base economy, some production, as well as a large army, so that you can then choose where to play the game from there, how to branch out, which directions you want to go in. So remember, if you want to change up your composition a little bit to what I choose in this video, feel free to change it up, but you can still apply the same sort of guidelines with me talking about how to kind of keep your production going and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to do this live. Let's hop into game and see how it's done. Alright, let's launch into this game. Terran versus against a very hard Zerg AI. Not going to worry too much about finishing the AI off this game. We're just going to kind of have it in there as a opponent. Let's rally our first SCVs down here to the ramp. So of course starting up SCV production when you first begin. Going to put down that depot right next to that ramp. Start our wall off and we set the rally point back onto the minerals. And we queue up more and more SCVs. So most important thing here is this is a 14 depot, okay? So 14 supply is when we started that depot. Next up is going to be a 16 barracks and a 16 gas. So notice we've queued up one more SCV to go to 16. Then we go barracks on 16 and gas also down here right on 16. Now that we've got both of those down, we just continue resuming building SCVs. When in doubt, always keep building SCVs in these early stages. And you know what you can actually do here is you can send your 17th worker across the map. So we can rally this one out. We can say, okay, you get across the map. Let's put some gas. Queue up some more SCVs. And let's select that SCV. Tell it, using shift, to do a loop to scout our opponent's base. And then go hide behind their expansion so we can see whether or not they expand and what time they do it. For now, let's grab this barracks SCV, and you can do this earlier. You can already just right-click it down there at that natural expansion because it's going to build the command center. For now, barracks is done. Immediately start a reactor and an orbital command center. So important, and the most ignored thing by new Terran players is not making that orbital as soon as the barracks finishes. It's so important to get those mules dropping out of that as quickly as possible. It's a big part of the Terran economy. Next up, we go 19 command center. And there we go. We've already set the rally point on that. Looking very good. Alright.
Command center upgrade complete.
An SCV, drop a mule. Let's get a second barracks started here on 20. And let's go get a depot started as well.
Add-on complete.
We can start up another SCV. Start that depot on 21. So notice how I'm not using the barracks. I wait till the depot starts and then I will be queuing up Marines non-stop from that moment. Next up, you'll see we're at 23 supply. So 23 supply is when we go for our third barracks.
Our SCVs are under attack.
And we see, oh, he's expanded. Cool. Doesn't matter if my SCV dies. That's all I wanted to see. You'll naturally get better at interpreting your scouting and really understanding the minute details as you play more and more of the game. But for now, we're just kind of making sure our opponent expands. And if they don't expand, you can maybe build yourself a bunker at about 3 or 4 minutes into the game. But we don't need to overthink it. Alright, orbital command center down here at the natural expansion. Notice I've got a tech lab on this barracks. And we're just building SCVs, dropping mules, building Marines. And this is the pattern, just keeping up all of these fundamental tasks. Get out of here, drone.
Add-on complete.
Managed to kill his drone scout, that's always nice. Let's start Stim, a reactor. And there we go. Once you've got that reactor down on the third barracks, this is a point where you naturally will reach about 35 supply. Now what do we do at 35 supply? We go for a factory and a second gas, both around the same time. Very nice. Now I'm going to change the rally point on this command center back to these minerals because we're going to need to put a few workers on that gas. So we need more workers in this main base. Now after you've done that, you do want to start a supply depot at about 38 supply. I'm doing it slightly late on about 40 supply, but that's okay.
Add-on
shouldn't make too much difference. Let's put guys on this second gas.
Who wants some? This better be.
And you always want to be building depots from this point. So this SCV will become our depot builder. And his job is basically a lifetime of just constructing supply depots. It's not the most sought after job, but someone's got to do it. We'll put down a starport as soon as that factory's done and immediately build a reactor. I'm going to swap these around. Keep queuing up these depots. And if you want, you can even speed it up. See, oh, very close to being supply block. Let's build an extra depot. This guy can be a temporary depot builder. So more and more barracks, pumping out marines here, sorry. More marines is what I was trying to say. You see the main base is saturated, so we can change the rally points down here to the natural.
Been waiting on you.
Let's keep queuing up depots on the depot builder. And
Give me orders.
here we go at 60 supply. You want to drop down an engineering bay. Alright, let's swap the factory and the starport around, like I said. You want to start up 2 Medivacs. You want to continue building depots here. Keep building SCVs, dropping mules. And you can drop yourself a 3rd gas here as well. Now this is nearing the very end of the build, guys. We're going to get +1 weapons started. We're going to get combat shields started. Those Medivacs are almost out. Let's put guys on this gas. You can even do that before it finishes. They'll automatically start mining when it finishes. Queuing up more marines, more SCVs. And at this point, you can see my natural expansion is almost fully saturated as well. We don't need the 4th gas. And that's about it. We can stop building any more SCVs. From here, we can do whatever we want. So I can choose to move out here, and I would say the standard thing is to go attack with any marines you've built in your first 2 Medivacs. But behind this, we could build a tech lab and build siege tanks. If we want to play a long-term game, we can build a 3rd command center. We can build an extra engineering bay. We can build an armory to unlock the 2nd tier of upgrades. Or we could just make a ton of barracks, mass units, and try to destroy our opponent as early and as quickly as possible. The options are completely open to you. It's up to your own preference. You can just launch your way in and try to defeat him as I'm doing here. But the important thing is you built a strong economy, a good early force that will excel in a lot of different situations. And from here, you can decide which strategy best suits your style. The ball's in your court. Okay, so here's a good moment to hop out of the game and have a quick chat about something, which is the fact that Terran units are awesome. They have a lot of damage, they've got big guns, you got siege tanks, you got liberators, you got marines and marauders. They're all really, really weak as well. Glass cannons basically is what the Terran arsenal is made up of. A whole bunch of things that are high damage but very vulnerable, especially in the early stages here, building up lots of marines and marauders. You don't have the upgrades on them yet. You're very vulnerable to certain rushes. This is why Terran is very reliant on their defense. That's why supply depots can go up and down. It's so you can always have a wall which is flexible, which you can either lower to let your army out or raise up to stop the opponent getting in. So make sure you're very solid at building your walls and you try to keep your army behind your walls. Not just that, but try to remember, sometimes in the early stages, it's actually better if your opponent comes with a rush to not even defend your natural expansion, just kind of pull your units up into your main base ramp and raise up those depots, lift off your command center on your natural. It's very handy that the command center can lift off. It's exactly for this reason. And as long as you can defend your main ramp and stay alive, usually you can reestablish your expansion and still be in a good position. So it's a lot about surviving early on. And if this is something you're struggling with, you find that a little bit tough, make sure you just throw in a single bunker on the low ground at the 4-minute mark or thereabouts. Throw a few marines in that, repair it if you can if they come and attack you. It's going to give you a much stronger kind of set of defense against any rushes. So hopefully that helps you out, guys. Number 1, build a wall. Number 2, hide behind the wall whenever you can. Number 3, build a bunker if you have to. Let's hop back into game. Alright guys, that about rounds us up for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, this is just a very straightforward guide. We're not going too deep on the strategy. And the reason for that is I don't think a Welcome to Starcraft series would be complete without a couple of videos showing you how to open up the game as each race and giving you a simple checklist of kind of how to set up your production in your economy. If you want to go deeper, make sure you check out the rest of the Welcome to Starcraft series. Check out the playlist, as well as hop over to my Twitch and watch me explain my games live at twitch.tv/x5_pig. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye and good night.